Hello, everybody. You're welcome to this episode of The Lady on a Journey. I'm really so excited because this is a very, very special episode for me. Yes, you can see Vanessa Gega right here. She's an awesome friend and she is the founder of Help Out. Yay, yes. Help Out, and she's here. She's a very awesome girl, I would say. Like I said before, she's an awesome friend, and she's one of those few ladies of integrity that I've really come across in in the last season of my life. I know that yeah, she's laughing, but honestly, that's the truth. And I felt like, okay, let me bring her on the show to give her own testimony about her journey so far. And I know that you tap a lot actually from her. So yes, this is Vanessa, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Vicky, and I'm actually excited to be here. Like, I did not really expect it, but it came the way it came. So I don't know what you want me to share, but I believe that I know
You're
what
on
I
the
have to
scene.
share.
Exactly. And just bear with us because today we are going to be laughing a lot. Like that's just us, and we are sorry. There's nothing that we can do about it. So yes, Vanessa, I've been with you for quite some time, and I've been able to follow up with your life. You've had quite an interesting journey, I would say, and I just want us to talk about the wilderness season because I've been with you and you always talk about the wilderness season, and I think that you're writing something. I hope I'm not exposing I'm not exposing your plans, but I know that there's something about you and the wilderness season. So I want you to share with everybody out there, and I just want to find out from you, what is this wilderness season?
All right, I'm sure you know a bit of it already because I shared something about writing something
Yeah.
about that with you.
Yeah.
So actually, the wilderness season, like it's just the wilderness season. All of us know what the wilderness is like. It's actually a dry area, but its own dryness is actually different because like when you go to imagine yourself in the desert,
Yeah.
yes, and you're just in the desert, like you hardly know the way out or the way you cannot find your way. So it's just like you're in that desert. So that's why I think the topic of today's wilderness season. So we may be talking about might be the time I felt like I was in a desert and I did not know my way out or anything. So in simple terms, I believe that we are not talking big booky
It's really not big.
so I think that's just the wilderness.
Feel free,
like
girl.
it is
Feel free.
wilderness, just that moment of dryness where it seems like you're actually in a wilderness.
Yeah.
But the wilderness is not like a physical wilderness, but about the circumstances of your life, the circumstances, the things you're going through that makes you to feel like you're actually in a desert. Yeah.
Yes, let me sit upright because honestly, Vanessa,
Yes.
I won't lie. I feel that I'm kind of in the wilderness. I'm moving through the wilderness. So I know that I'm going to learn definitely from you today. So yes. So now you've given us what the wilderness is. We are so interested. Like I'm sure that everybody watching is interested, to know how your wilderness season has been all about, like how it has unfolded. I don't know if you're still in the wilderness season or you're out of it already, or I don't know what point you are. Just tell us, how has your wilderness season been? First of all, start by answering if you're still in your wilderness season or not.
Okay.
Are you still in your wilderness season?
Yes.
Okay. Then just give us a directive of your wilderness season then.
Okay, I'll actually answer the question again about whether I'm in the wilderness season or not. Fine. I'm in the wilderness season at the moment, but with a different perspective.
Oh, okay.
When I got to that season, it was different, but now I think I have a different perspective, so I cannot really call it a wilderness season because, like, I understand the season to a greater extent at the moment. Okay, so fine. So my wilderness season, I'm not going to be long about it, but I'll give the essential things that people may want to connect to. So I think way back in 2016, yes, that was 2016, everything was going so cool in my life. Like education, I just had a master's sometime around then. I was traveling around the world. I was being taken for trainings, like youth trainings, My profession seemed to be blooming. When I just left from school, I got actually a very good internship with a good organization. And after that, they kept me with the organization. So it felt like everything was going. And yeah, everything just seemed to be going. Like, let's also talk about it. Like, a young girl at that time, we had the perception that you have to, maybe at a certain age at the time, you have to get married. So at that point, truth be told, I had the relationship I was looking up to and stuff like that. So yeah, everything was fine and blooming. So time was passing and certain things just happened to my life. For instance, for certain circumstances or certain situations, I had to leave my job.
Okay.
Yeah, for personal reasons, I had to leave my job. So that meant staying at home without anything. And actually, talking about the relationship at the time, it did not work out.
Okay.
So I had to leave that too. Yeah, and that was just the beginning of the dry season. It was still the beginning.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, many other things. Those I'm just talking about the job and this because that's like for many young girls, marriage and profession.
Exactly.
Those are the things that will
That's
carry
what we go
their minds.
after, yes.
So there are many other little things that happened, but
Yeah.
these ones were really, really unique. And at that point, I'll not lie, like my prayers, I don't know, my prayers were just crying, sobbing. Like I don't know the kind of prayer I did not make again. And sometimes I'll even pray and say, God, like if there's something I'm not doing, or there's something like you're just I did not really understand what was happening. Or I felt, sometimes you may feel that maybe it's somebody that is doing what an African says.
Exactly.
So things will come drop in your mind and stuff like that. So but let me fast forward the story. It got to a moment and that I really felt like there was nobody I could really turn to. Because I'll turn to my parents. I have a wonderful family. They'll really talk about these things, but it felt like
That
they can,
inner peace that you need
I
to get,
need.
yes.
I'm not really getting it, like when I talk with people and they advise me, they'll give a good advice, but sometimes I feel like they have not understood
Exactly.
what I'm going through. And then to fast forward the story, I started applying for jobs. I'm like, I have the qualifications, I have a good master's, I'm not a lazy girl. I thought I had it all. Like
She's a good
really
project manager. Like she's one of the best.
Yes,
you are.
I did not know that the show was from
No, it's not about that. I'm just trying to add up to
Okay,
your point. It's not like you were lazy and you did not have competence, where you had all that going and you did not have a job. You went for interviews where you were good and you did not have a job. And you should also talk about the interview you went for and you turned down the job too.
Okay, yes. Okay. So Vicky almost knows my story. We spent time together.
Yeah.
So I was getting there actually. So I had to start applying for jobs, the hustle and stuff like that. And then the interesting thing is, at the moment when I was home, it felt to many people like I was being lazy or something. Like nobody understands what I'm going through. Nobody knows that I can send like I don't even know the number of applications that I've sent out. Like if I was counting them, So I just felt at the point like nobody really understands, Everybody feels like, because naturally, like when I'm with Vicky, I can really talk. Naturally, I'm more of an introvert. So people just felt that maybe I'm just too quiet, I'm not outgoing, everybody had his perception. But inside me, I knew that like a young girl, I'm really struggling, I'm struggling to get it. So I was at the point where I did not know where to go to. Then it dawned on me like I have to go back to God. Yes, I really have to go back
it takes
to God.
taking away everything for you to know that, okay, you need something higher than all these things. Yeah,
So I really felt at that point like I needed something higher. Let me go and see God. Like God can really tell me something. So sometimes I have a friend who just said, "Let's just go and see God," and then let God say it is well,
and you'll be comforted.
Yeah,
definitely.
So that was it. So at that point where I was I was at that moment, I really had people around me, friends who were encouraging me, but truly, I just needed one other deeper inner conviction that I really needed it so strong. So I found out that I I had more time to fast when I was in the house, because it was dry and I did not know my route out. So I actually needed to understand what was happening. So I had more time at home. I had more time to pray. It looks like as I was going closer to God, I don't
You
know.
got in touch with something.
I
They
got,
always say
yeah, I
that
don't know.
there is something in the something
That
that
you
you cannot
cannot
really
really
place. Yes,
understand.
you cannot
Yes,
place your hand, but you
yes,
just know that
yes.
you have that peace. You're just so happy
Exactly.
in the situation, the same circumstances that you were
Exactly.
in before, and you felt like the whole world was crushing on you. But now you know that okay, I'm fine. I'm just at peace, and I'm
Exactly.
just looking forward to see what will unfold.
Exactly.
Mm.
So I started going, and one thing, truth be told, when I started going to God, it also helped me to read a lot in the Bible.
Yeah.
And then when I read a lot in the Bible, I started having this. The first thing that started bringing me that consolation was that when I read people's lives in the Bible, I started understanding that none of them, when you see these people in the Bible, start reading the Bible, they all had seasons, you know. Like if you want to start, look at Joseph in the Bible. Like this is a guy that he had to be a ruler. And I looked at the things he had to go through. I think Joseph was sold into slavery around the age of 17.
Yeah.
So I can imagine how many years if he became ruler in Egypt at 30.
30.
Imagine his own
I know,
wilderness
it
season.
was long.
And to say that it's not like Joseph did anything wrong,
Yeah.
because I looked at Joseph's life in first of all, let me look at Joseph's life when he was telling his brothers about his clothes. They dress a beautiful dress his father gave him. At that time, I saw a more naive Joseph, who was somehow bragging.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's true, like he was just a child, so he did not really know all these things. He was showing his brothers, like, my father gave me this dress. And also, remember his dreams. He just came and told his brothers, oh, I saw this. So I just felt like he was just the Joseph who had not yet been really molded. So he did not really pass this information well. So his brothers could perceive it in another way. It could make them envy, and so they sold him into slavery. But that was God's own way. They say God works in ways we cannot fathom.
Exactly.
So, Bird, now when you look at the same Joseph now that went to prison, or with Potiphar's wife, the story when Potiphar's wife wanted to lure him over to her, and you see how he had that self control at that point where he could even run away from her just to keep his integrity. I believe that it's after working like a slave, that season where your brothers have sold you, he has brought out another, he has shaped his character, so he had that kind of self-control. And then look at how, even when they threw him into prison, when Joseph was thrown into prison, when the people who had the dreams in prison, when they'll tell Joseph, when Joseph interpreted that dreams, he always ascribed it back to God.
Yeah.
That no, I'm not the one who can interpret these dreams, but it's only by the ability of God. Like it's God who is giving him the ability. So when I looked at that Joseph now, that these difficulties have molded him, and I looked at the Joseph who was just bragging, I was like, okay. So it means that this season it could actually be a grooming season,
Exactly.
that has humbled Joseph from that one who will come and be showing that kind of,
Yes.
So he humbled him. Then I was like, it means that my case is not forgotten. It means this season may actually be a season that I should instead be intentional about to grasp what the season has. And when you look at Joseph now at the end, Joseph gets to where, because I believe he had grasped the season, he had his character was there and everything. At the end, he was made ruler. And when he was made ruler, I believe that what kept him to be the ruler and succeed in his journey as a ruler was that grooming during his
Exactly.
wilderness season. So when reading those kind of things in the Bible, not forgetting that it's true that sometimes you may be going through some hardships, like some things, or people may even cause you hardship.
Exactly.
Yes, I don't refuse that fact. But I want to really say that in my own little way, I understood that if truly we are Christians, and we are children of God, he's the authority of our lives.
Okay.
So if the wrong things even if the wrong things want to happen to us and they happen because he permitted it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Got it.
And what gave me that perspective is because the story of Job.
Yes.
Yes. There was a discussion between the evil one and God,
Yes.
and God knew that Job is going to be tried.
Yes.
But instead, while the evil one is thinking he is trying you, like it's instead a test of your faith.
Exactly. And you're writing an exams. Like you need to be very vigilant in your dry season.
Exactly. And then you remember we're doing a studies in the choir.
Yeah.
I belong to this choir. Those something we're doing in the choir, and one of the topics said perseverance in trials or something.
Yes.
Yeah. And one thing I learned from there is that our persecutions is an opportunity for growth in faith.
Exactly.
So all of this combined together during that wilderness season. So I started understanding that okay, it's not all lost. There's actually something. Then you now understand why the Bible will tell you that count it all joy when you're persecuted. It's true, let me not lie, it's not easy. It's not really easy.
All the crying.
Yes, all the crying. Like I used to
cry sometimes. The questioning, like it's overwhelming, right?
I have a friend I used to tell her, also one day two of us used to laugh, and I was telling her that I was trying to show her the way I used to cry. That I just opened the door in my room. In fact, my room already knew me. I would not even sit on the bed or just down the floor.
Like you're soaking everything when you're out. You're just trying to soak it in, and once you get to the door and open, you're like, woo!
I know, like,
oh God, it's very full.
Yeah. So there's a lot to say, but I think like to say that's the wilderness story.
Yeah.
Just that time when you feel like everything is taken away from you.
All right, thank you very much, Vanessa. But we're going to cut now, and we'll continue definitely with part 2.
Okay.
Yes, because we need to keep it short. We need to keep it short so that people will have to, understand, take some time to process all the information that you've given so far, and then we'll continue. So click on the subscribe button if you want to get more videos, and if you want to have the part 2 of this message. And we love you so much. Just stay blessed and be good, and we pray that God is going to see you through if you're going through your wilderness season right now.